What about this issue of Donald Trump's legal problems? If he's prevented from running for president due to all of these court cases, will this not lead to a democratic crisis, with many Americans taking the view that the law is being leveraged to deny their political will?
That's why it's so important that we talk about this question, the institutional legitimacy of the court system. Everything has to be public. Everything has to be transparent. People need to be of the belief system that that our system is fair and equitable, and that you have an outcome, even if you disagree with it, but that is understandable and that is justifiable to the American people. The judges in these cases have to be seen as being umpires, calling balls and strikes, not putting your finger on one side or the other, or assisting the prosecution or assisting the defense in these cases. If you do not have that, then that's what leads to the breakdown of democratic systems. Just look at the situation going on in Pakistan right now with Imran Khan, where many people believe that the court system and the military colluded together to deny him the ability to serve as president of Pakistan. That leads to armed conflict, and we cannot have that in America, which is why it's important to put judges on the bench who are willing to stand up for the rule of law, whose only allegiance is to the Constitution of the United States and to the citizens of their jurisdiction, and are willing to make the hard decisions and not punt them to other jurisdictions when they feel that it's politically expedient. If we concentrate on the Constitution and the rule of law, the people will have confidence in whatever determination comes out, and that is what allows our system to function going forward.
But they won't have confidence in the American judicial system if Donald Trump is not a candidate in November. For the sake of American democracy, is it your view that Trump must run?
It's my view that we have to follow the rule of law. The reason being is that once you start making exceptions to the rule of law, then everybody's going to want an exception. We have to ensure, as I said previously, that whether you are a president or a pauper, that the rule of law applies to you equally. And if, according to the Constitution, Donald Trump is ineligible to run, then we have to follow the Constitution and follow the rule of law. My hope for any individual is that if you are innocent, I've done my career as a criminal defense lawyer, that if you are innocent, you are found innocent. However, conversely, if you're guilty, you must be found guilty based upon our system. So my view is that it's not simply a question of whether or not I believe Donald Trump should run or not. The question is how our system functions. I don't think anybody will believe that if somebody is a convicted criminal, they should have deference given to them, or that you get extra rights simply because they are wealthy or politically well connected. Every single person has to have the same rights within our system.
However, tens of millions of people would like to vote for Donald Trump. Do you not fear for the future of American democracy if he's not on the ticket, if people can't vote for him? Are you not concerned about the consequences for American society?
I don't think that can come into play because once you start making those determinations that someone is ostensibly too big for the criminal justice system, then you're no longer a nation of laws. You're now a nation of men. Then what will be next?
But what would you say, Mr. Portillo? I don't want to interrupt you because I appreciate what you're saying, but there are millions of Americans who think that these court cases are politically motivated. They're not happy with the fact that Fani Willis has had a relationship with somebody that she employed as a prosecutor. Just based upon the case of Georgia alone, many Americans will think this stinks.
Well, this is what I talk about when I talk about making sure that everything is public, that people understand the rulings, people see the evidence, and people understand exactly why the outcome is taking place. This is also presupposing that President Trump will be found guilty in these cases. He has every right of any other criminal defendant in these cases. He has millions of dollars to defend himself in these court cases. And just as with anyone else, he has to abide by the Constitution, just as every citizen should. He should not be given favor, but he also should not be punished because of his status, his political affiliation, his wealth, or any other issues. And the American people need to see this process working itself out. They need to see the criminal justice system, and it cannot be seen as a situation where because he has millions of supporters, he's held to a different standard. If you think about the O.J. Simpson trial from 30 years ago, he had millions of supporters around the country, and we are still sitting here 30 or 40 years later debating the merits of that case because people did not believe in the system. They did not believe in the outcome. They did not believe that that a fair verdict was reached on both on one side or the other. This is the importance of abiding by the rule of law, because once you start making exceptions, once you start creating deviances, once you start making variations, you end up with a system that people simply do not believe in, and that's when you start seeing systems collapse. This is a broad constitutional issue that cannot be undermined or changed because of one person.